Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are taking a look at the future of Dreamlight Valley and what it has in store for us. Now here is a Q&A article written by Nicole Carpenter of Polygon, and she interviews through email creative director Josh LaBelle, I believe is his name, asking about the future of Dreamlight Valley and more in depth and what the update's going to look like at the end of this month. Now let's jump right on into it. She starts off by saying that the August update will be adding Tiana to the valley, and along with her new restaurant, Tiana's Palace. We'll be getting 2 restaurants now. Remy won't be the only chef in town. She says that her new restaurant will have a stall that sells pre-made meals, and she'll also come with the 1920s style decor to give our valley a New Orleans flair. So looking that Tiana is going to get her own stall and she's going to be making pre-made meals for us, making our life a little bit easier, especially if we don't like to cook so much in Dreamlight Valley. I think that's why they added Remy doing those daily quest lines with multiple characters throughout the valley, with his food delivery business. I think it's to kind of even out the playing field, so we're interacting with both restaurants now. And it doesn't seem so much like a competition between them, more like they're complimenting each other. And I think that's a great addition. I'm very excited for that. So LaBelle goes on to add that Tiana's Palace is indeed a new restaurant for the valley, and it will share some of the same functionality as Chez Remy has. So it's going to act the same way where villagers can go, you can serve them meals, and they'll act the same way. And I especially think that will help when we're doing star paths, and when we have to work a shift at Remy's, we can now work a shift at Tiana's Palace. So I think that's going to be very fun and interactive. Not only is Tiana going to be selling meals, but she's going to add some more type of recipes, more meals that are uniquely inspired by New Orleans. So a lot of Cajun food, a lot of things like that. I think it's going to be great. 5-star meals that will definitely help when you're maybe having to gift a villager's favorite food for the day and want to level them up. And I think it's going to be very good, very helpful, and I'm very excited for that. So further into the article, Josh talks about the interactions and moments we're going to kind of see with Tiana, maybe in her quest line, most likely in her quest line. But he says that Tiana is going to be trading recipes with Remy as they compare the finer points of Cajun and Parisian cuisine. She's going to clash with Mother Gothel, of course, and sharing her culinary talents and New Orleans traditions with the valley. I'm specifically intrigued about her interactions with Remy. I don't think they're going to be bad or competitive interactions, but with the Cajun and Parisian cuisine, they're not very similar, but they share a lot of different culture points. So if you know anything about Cajuns and Cajun food and culture, specifically like the language, for example, it is most famous for their French dialect. They call it Louisiana French. And it's incorporated words from, Africa, Spain, Native American, and English origin. So it's a very unique language. I think it's so fun. I love Cajun people and I love Cajun cuisine specifically. And I think it's going to be very interesting to see maybe they can find some similarities, what kind of differences, and maybe they'll learn from each other. I'm so excited and I'm so intrigued with her interactions with Remy. I think that's what I'm most excited for. With like Mother Gothel, I don't really know. I don't really know how that's going to happen. I'm trying to put my head and wrap my head around it. Like, what kind of interactions will she have with Mother Gothel? But I don't know. Maybe it's something with fashion. I love Tiana's gowns. Like, throughout the movie, I love her blue one, her green one, the most iconic one. It's gorgeous, absolutely stunning. So I don't know. Maybe it'll be about fashion type of thing. I don't know if Mother Gothel will diss her for kind of being a frog, and because Mother Gothel's kind of snobby a little bit. I have no idea, but I'm so excited to see that. Josh then goes into a little bit of the Rift in Time expansion pass, and we're slowly coming to an end, actually pretty quickly. We only had maybe 3 updates total, but we're finally now attempting to stop Jafar and his schemes, and we're going to finally go into the Agrabah Palace, and we're going to, I guess, be able to explore in there. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of things to do, some more surprises that will draw on Disney history, and meet a certain character, a classic character. I will kind of get into my prediction of what this character will be a little bit towards the end. I just want to focus more on like the Tiana update right now, but just know I will be talking about that. So the next question that was asked was, what have you learned about what players want out of Disney Dreamlight Valley, and has that evolved over the past 2 years? Josh and his team are continually working to improve and to be responsive to our players. I know they are. They're always checking our comments, and I know they probably give those generic, like, computerized responses to every time we have a comment about one of their posts. But I really do think that they look at, like, all of the comments. I think they constantly prove that they want to better the game time and time again. With that being said, it sounds like the Dreamlight Valley team is working to improve existing features and making the game a smoother experience. I know we've had a lot of bugs, like almost every single time there's an update, game crashes or things aren't working in the furniture mode and stuff. And I think they're really trying to focus on the quality of life improvements a lot more than pumping out so much content. I think they're trying to slow the content down and just make it easier, make the game more enjoyable, not stress us out, and just make it to where it feels more like the cozy game it was supposed to be. And I think that's very, very good, and I don't see anything wrong with that. Yeah, it might kind of sting a bit that we're not going to be seeing so much content for the rest of the year. We still have a lot of content coming up that we should be excited for, but I think these quality of life improvements are such a necessary thing that needs to be added to the game. It sounds like they're also trying to improve furniture mode and adding search bars, which in a lot of games seems like a very easy thing to do. Why Dreamlight Valley didn't add that in the beginning is kind of crazy. I don't know why. I think at first maybe we didn't need it because we didn't have a lot of furniture items, but now we definitely do. And it will save us so much time with decorating and everything. So that's one thing they're adding. But I think there's going to be more to come. And these are something I think really need to be focused by the Dreamlight Valley team. And hey, they're listening and they're going to do it. They also gave us a first look of Tiana. Doesn't she look amazing? I think she looks so beautiful, and I really hope they give us this dress, maybe at the end of her quest line or even premium shop. I'm gonna pick that up, best believe. But it's so pretty. I'm so excited for her to come, and we even got a glimpse of what her restaurant's gonna look like, Tiana's Palace. You can look up just a picture of what it looks like from the movie, and it looks pretty spot on. And I'm more excited what's gonna look like inside. Is it gonna look like exactly from the movie, or is it going to be a little bit different but definitely still have that New Orleans flair 1920s style? We'll see. One thing I wanted to add is I know sometimes in updates we get new foliage items to decorate. How stunning would it be to get these swampy trees? I know we have the willow trees, but get these swampy trees that give out those sparkles that look like the fireflies. I know they can do it because we have the Dreamlight trees that give out those sparkly, just I guess sparkles. But I really want those so bad. Can you imagine putting like it in your glade of trust and everything? It'd be so gorgeous. So next thing they talked about was adding more features to multiplayer. It sounds like they're trying to offer different ways to play together, work towards goals without needing to be online at the same time, or to have the need of hosting other players in your valley. And I find that I don't know how that's gonna work. I don't really have much thoughts about it. I'm more of like, let's just wait and see what that looks like. I don't play a lot of multiplayer. I begged my boyfriend to get Dreamlight Valley so we can play together. He doesn't play that much with me, but he humors me and still does at times. But there isn't that much to do at this moment with multiplayer. I know you can take selfies now and everything, but that's kind of about it at this moment. So I'm really excited to see what that's gonna look like. I'm definitely gonna test it out with my boyfriend, or maybe others in my community that I'm happen to be in. So I really am looking forward to that. I'm very curious on how that's gonna work. Alright, so now we're jumping into more of the Rift in Time coming to an end and everything. There was some things they want to improve on perhaps in the next expansion that we're going to get, and a lot of it was about pacing, and a lot of players found it to be kind of rushed in order to finish quests that would unlock more biomes or parts of the biomes, and they didn't really find it as relaxing or anything like that. So they're looking to kind of slow down the pace just a little bit for the next expansion to make it more enjoyable for players. I know that some players found it kind of confusing because the land was so big and that there was a lot of twists and turns, like they said, going through different biomes. I thought it was really fun and very adventurous. I loved exploring all of those things, but I can see the point because it took me a very long time to figure out the layout of the Wild Tangled biome. That one was very confusing for me, so I understand that. And it was the same thing with decorating. They found it very hard to decorate. I have some things, I think like maybe half of Eternity Isle decorated. Probably gonna change it a lot, like I always change my main valley a lot anyways. So I understand that. I find it very hard to kind of decorate a little bit, and I think it's more because it's not really my aesthetic. I like more of the cottagecore, fairy tale, vintage Disney type of things, so that's why I kind of thrive in like the Forest of Valor, for example, more so than like jungle themes, type of things like that. So I see that. I totally understand that, and I'm interested to see what the new expansion will look like coming next year. Okay, to backtrack a little bit, I did mention that we are going to go inside Agrabah Palace finally. I believe we're going to go into that little secret entrance in the Wild Tangle, like that little basement kind of looking thing. That's going to be so much fun. I'm so excited for that. But it also mentioned we're going to be meeting a classic character. And I've heard a lot of theories. I think most people are leaning more towards like finding Aladdin in there, which I totally see happening. However, I'm going to put in my thoughts, and I think it's going to be the genie. I'm sorry, but he is such a classic character. I mean, so is Aladdin. I'd love to see, honestly, anyone I'd be happy with, but I think it's going to be the genie, like, to kind of end Jafar's scheme and his plots of taking over everything. I feel like the genie would have such a powerful hand in helping stop Jafar, and maybe he's holding the genie captive in a lamp, or I don't know, like, we'll see, but I'm hoping to see the genie. I think he makes more sense in my mind. However, I can be 100% wrong. I think it's so fun to predict characters, though. I'd love to see Aladdin. I definitely want Jasmine in this game. I don't know if we'll see them right away. maybe they're going to be later on, or just any of the characters from Aladdin will be later on. I find it weird that we didn't see any characters besides Jafar, from Aladdin, but there's always so much more things to go off of later on, future updates, everything like that. But I think it's gonna be the genie. Let me know what you guys think. Also, ancient. He kind of describes himself that way. He's been locked away for how many years? I can't remember off the top of my head, but I feel like that's the whole kind of theme of Eternity Isle, is a rift in time and ancient landings and all of these ancient sculptures all around us. So that's why I'm leaning more towards the genie. That's my thought process, but everyone has their own. Now, they also gave us the roadmap for the rest of the year, and it looks like in October we're getting Timon and Pumbaa finally. They've been in the beginning trailer for Dreamlight Valley even before the game came out, and we haven't seen them, and it's been 2 years. Same with Cinderella, same with Wreck-It Ralph. And I know there's some people that have mixed emotions about seeing them. They, I think they're kind of been waiting so long for them. They're kind of not over it, but they're I want to see other franchises, right? We haven't been into Skull Rock. I want to see Tinkerbell or Peter Pan or Captain Hook. And they're kind of wanting stuff like that. Instead of just going into the same Lion King realm and then just getting these two characters. But hey, content's content, and that's what I think. And I think they're such a fun duo. I think they're going to be great in the valley. Looks like they're coming along and trying to help us find these thorn mites, I think they're called. It's a new problem that's going to be rising into the valley, and that will be fun too. I think they're going to be great additions, and we should be excited to see them. And I know some people have their favorite characters and they want to see their favorite characters. For me, example, I want to see all the Disney princesses, but I know that we're not going to see them all just yet. They need to space it out. There needs to be longevity into the game in general to make this game last for years and years to come. And I think once Timon and Pumbaa come into the valley and we have fun with them, I think people are just going to forget about it and just enjoy the moment. Now, it also looks like in late 2024, most likely December, we're going to be getting Sally into the game. Finally, our Pumpkin King has his Pumpkin Queen. We got Jack Skellington around the same time last year, so it kind of makes sense to have them both into the valley, night before Christmas type thing, and it's going to be... Now, this part was the part that's been stumping everyone. The showcase stream, it says it's going to tune in for plenty more announcements coming later this year. I'm assuming this was going to be for the expansion pass, a new DLC that we're going to have. And because it came out, the Eternity Isle showcase stream came out roughly around the same time, end of 2023. So it makes sense for it to be part of a paid expansion. They're going to be showing off everything, but the part where it's stumping people is, what could it possibly be? And what is this picture with this podium and book and candles and everything? And I don't know. I really don't know. It could be anything. Disney is full of storytelling and fantasy and everything, but I do think it's leaning more towards the fantasy type thing, like fairy tales. That book, it could be a spell book. People are thinking a spell book, but I feel like if it was, a spell book, it would kind of more a hint towards maybe our villains. Now there's good spell books, for example, Merlin. He's a good character and he does spells and all of that stuff. He's a wizard. But this kind of reminded me at first glance of Snow White, and it's just the color patterns and everything. I think with the new live action of Snow White coming out, I think they're kind of going to play off of that. How they're going to do a whole expansion off of Snow White, I don't know, is the next big bad going to be the evil queen? I don't know. I really don't know. I'd love to see Snow White. She's actually like my favorite princess, always has been. So initially, I thought that the Snow White franchise would be brought into Dreamlight Valley through the mines in Sunland Plateau. It always reminded me of the mine scenes with the seven dwarfs, and I always thought maybe we were going to find a room or something one's hiding in. That's what I always thought. But I don't know if they're going to do that. I was thinking for the expansion, it could be something along fairy tales, like a forest type of thing again. Not exactly like the Forest of Valor, but maybe more whimsical, kind of like these pictures. I can see them doing a lot with that. Maybe instead of like the Agrabah Palace, we see like the Evil Queen's castle at the very top instead. I also thought it'd be fun, maybe they have like a Wonderland biome. They can incorporate other types of fairy tales involved, something kind of like this, and make it look really fun and thought out. And I think this would be so cool to have. I've always pushed for a Wonderland biome. I think it would be so much fun to do. Yeah, but this was the final roadmap for the end of 2024. I think we had a great year, a lot of fun content. We got Mike and Sully, we got Mulan and Mushu, you know, so much stuff. We got daily quests with Remy now, we got Daisy in her boutique, and it's been so good. It's been such a good year, so I'm really excited to see the end of it and starting to get more hints about next year. And I think it's going to be so fun. But thank you so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I love to talk about this stuff and predict characters and it. So please let me know. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. I do a lot of Sims 4 and Dreamlight Valley content, so you want to stay tuned. And I'll see you in the next one. Hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day and take care of yourselves. Bye bye.